guys, what's happening? And welcome to Bleacher Bloggers for Friday, September 28th. I'm Dave, and filling in for Brent today is one of the world's greatest Detroit Lions fans, Antonio Neves. What's up, Antonio?
Hey, man, thanks for having me. The great thing, you had your brother on the show on Tuesday. It's Friday, and you have another brother on the show. Two brothers in 1 week. We're making history on Bleacher Bloggers.
That's what we're all about. Wow. On today's show, we're going to tell you what the fans decided to do with Barry Bonds' epic home run ball.
And plus, we're going to introduce you to college football sleeper team and have a conversation with a fantastic hockey blogger.
And we're reaching back into the good old Friday FanMail Funbag.
But first up, Ballgate 2007.
All right, last week we told you fashion designer Mark Ecko was holding an online vote to determine what he should do with Barry Bonds' home run ball. Well, the votes are in, the public has spoken, and this is what they said.
We go to vote756.com where Mark Ecko writes, "The public chose to send the ball to the Hall of Fame with an asterisk as a constant reminder of this unforgettable moment in sports history and popular culture. 10 million people voted, almost 50% decided to do this."
This is actually turning into kind of a big deal. There's a whole bunch of people really upset about this. In fact, let's go to baseballmusings.com where David Pinto is pretty pissed. Here's what he writes. "Jerk is too mild a word for what I think of Ecko. My respect for the Hall of Fame just went down a notch. Since when does a museum endorse mutilating history?"
Pinto even includes a link to the Hall of Fame's website, so if you want to write a letter or an email, whatever, you can send it right to them.
But here's the thing about the Hall of Fame, okay? They're a nonprofit organization, so they really have no say in this. The only way they ever get stuff is if it's donated to them, so I don't really know what they're supposed to do about it. What do you think?
I think, first of all, I got to go back to Mark Ecko. I'm really disappointed that someone would spend $700,000 more than that to buy a ball and I put an asterisk on it. The big problem overall, though, is if you want some publicity, and that's all Ecko really wants, publicity. Dancing with the Stars just started. He could have went on Dancing with the Stars this season.
Absolutely. Mark Cuban's there. I know.
Freaking Floyd Mayweather, who did horrible this week.
Unbelievable. All right, let's move on to college football, a sport where nobody takes steroids. It's the biggest thing to happen to Tampa since Mons Venus Open, and if you don't know what that is, I suggest you find out.
Here's a hint, guys. Bring a whole bunch of singles with you.
And maybe a little more than just once. All right, tonight the 18th ranked South Florida Bulls host the 5th ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. So here's a question. Who the heck are these South Florida Bulls?
Well, to answer that question, we're going to go to fannation.com with the posting by none other than Chad Mallow. The Bulls have been around for about 12 years now, and every year they get better, and every year they don't get any respect. Forget about Miami and FSU. There is a new team in town, and you best show them some respect.
You best. They got a great quarterback, Matt Grothy. I felt like a moment right there. Matt Grothy, who can run the ball and throw the ball. They got a defensive end who leads the country in sacks. They're a good team.
Yeah, you can't forget last season they went into Morgantown and beat West Virginia.
You know what, Antonio? All that's great. I'm impressed, but here's a question. Why are you called South Florida? You're in Tampa.
Right.
Miami is South Florida.
And to further illustrate the point that you're not in South Florida, latitude and longitude for Tampa, latitude 27.97, 82.53 for Tampa. Miami, latitude 25.82, longitude 80.28.
What does that mean? I have no idea. But look at this map. There's Tampa on the west. There's Miami, south. University of West Florida.
Is it possible it's South Tampa?
It could be the south of Tampa. I really can't speak to that. I don't know.
South of Tampa, south of the United States.
It is south of, New York. All right, let's move on and hear what you guys have to say. That's right, time to reopen the FanMail Funbag.
FanMail Funbag.
All right, first up, Bronx Bomber 95 who writes, "These guys used to be on Nickelodeon."
You, my friend, are absolutely right. I hosted for Nickelodeon, Brent hosted for Nickelodeon, and as an added bonus, this guy hosted for Nickelodeon too.
What?
And all three of us can tell you what slime is made out of.
All right, let's keep it moving to ASD Teen who weighs in on the Barry Bonds baseball. "I would take the ball, slice it to tiny, tiny pieces, and send it to Africa and share it with poor and homeless peoples. I don't give a damn what to do with the ball. Thank you and have a nice day."
No, ASD Teen, thank you and have a nice day. And finally, we go to White Flags for his caption of this Phil Mickelson picture. There's the picture, and here's the caption. "Shoulda used preparation H." Outstanding.
Congratulations, White Flags. For that brilliance, you get a brand new Bleacher Bloggers t-shirt.
Congratulations once again, and here's your shirt.
Thank you.
That's all right. All right, coming up, we're going to get you guys ready for the upcoming NHL season and talk with a hockey blogger, James Mirtle of Myrtle.blogspot.com.
Can't wait to see Gretzky.
Nope, retired.
Brett Hull.
0 for 2.
Mario Lemieux.
Strike 3.
How?
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. I just can't get this blog to turn out right.
Are you crying?
No.
There's no crying in blogging. I was once called an illiterate jackass and told to never write anything again for the rest of my life. And that was for a post that my parents stayed up all night just to read. And did I cry?
No.
No. And do you know why?
No.
Because there's no crying in blogging. There's no crying in blogging. No crying.
It's not the best of the sports movies, it's the best of the sports blogs. BeachBloggers.com.
All right, welcome back. The NHL season officially starts tomorrow, and joining us right now to help us break down the upcoming season is James Mirtle from myrtle.blogspot.com up there in Toronto. Hey, James.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
It's our pleasure.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're getting ready for the season to start in London, of all places. Kings versus Ducks. What are you expecting in London? Will there be hooliganism?
You know, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to draw, the soccer crowd that you see in England. I mean, I don't know what they're going to draw. They might, draw flies. The papers so far haven't taken interest in it. You don't see any media coverage, and the tickets are basically going to North Americans who live in England.
Well, speaking of hooliganism, Chris Simon, 25-game suspension last season. Do you expect a lot of violence this upcoming NHL season?
We've already seen quite a bit in preseason. There was a brawl with the Islanders and the Rangers, and there was a big hit by Steve Downey yesterday that gave Dean McCammon a concussion in the Ottawa-Philly game.
All right, well, here in New York, everyone's drinking the Rangers Kool-Aid. You know, they picked up Drury and Gomez, and everybody thinks they're Stanley Cup contenders. What do you think?
I think they're contenders. I do. I think they're going to be a playoff team for sure, and the East is wide open. And I mean, you added two guys like Chris Drury and Scott Gomez. You address a need that the Rangers had to address, and that makes you a pretty good team. The thing I like the best about the Rangers is that they've got Henrik Lundqvist in goal. He's one of the best young goalies in the league. You got Jaromir Jagr that can score goals. You don't really need much more than that to be a contender now.
Well, look, it's only September, but what are your predictions, or who could hoist the Stanley Cup this season?
You know what? The team that I'm picking, I'm doing a couple of these previews. I'm picking the Minnesota Wild just because no one's talking about them. They finished 6 points behind the Anaheim Ducks last year. They played them in the first round and were knocked out rather quickly. But I think this year, another year of experience. They got a great goaltender. Their defensive team, they could win it.
Okay, it's now officially etched in stone.
Minnesota?
Minnesota, etched in stone. James, thank you so much for joining us, and we'd love to check back in with you throughout the season, all right?
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Great. James Mirtle at myrtle.blogspot.com.
Get off the bench.
All right, the baseball playoffs are coming.
Yes, and we want some of your non-statistical predictions while your team will win the World Series.
The weirder, the funnier, the sillier, the better. All you got to do is post them on Bleacher Bloggers or post them on YouTube, and if we like them, we'll read them on our show. Okay, Antonio, putting you on the spot, give me a fearless weekend prediction.
All right, we're going NFL. We're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Diego Chargers. My prediction is that the San Diego Chargers, A, will win, and B, for you fantasy football owners, Tomlinson is going to have a huge game finally.
That's why we have Antonio here to predict the obvious. Thanks so much for filling in, dude.
Hey, it was a pleasure, man.
Good
Thanks
to
for
have you
having
here.
me.
Good to have you. Brent comes back on Tuesday. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you Tuesday.
Cheers.